In 2002, Beckett and Hager gave us a different understanding of these three types of learning and education. According to them, informal learning is learning that is organic or holistic, engaging the whole person so that intellect, emotions, values, and practical activities are blended. Now, for the first time, we see that someone is bringing in the whole child. We are not simply focused on the mental or the thinking or the intellectual development. We are looking at the emotional development, values meaning the moral development, and practical activities meaning the lifelong learning piece of education. So for the first time, we find that some people in education are focusing also on emotions and morals, important things for young people to learn. And emotions and values, moral examples, cannot be learned in formal or non-formal settings. They are learned informally by observing what other people do in the society, beginning with the family. So a lot of times, if you talk to young people, the response you get from them is everybody in the society is doing it. That doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. What do your morals, your principles, your values tell you? Should you be doing the same thing, or should you be doing something different? It is important when young people learn to be different. That is when times will change. And all these four need to be blended together. You need to make sure that children develop intellectually, morally, emotionally, practically, and I would also add spiritually. I think that is absolutely important, particularly in our society and community that we live in. Spirituality is key to success in life. Informal learning is more common and also more effective than formal learning. According to Beckett and Hager, they claim that informal learning is much more important. Why? Because what they've seen is that what children learn in informal settings, values, emotions, practicality, stays with them. What they learn in formal settings is forgotten after an exam. So what is left, what stays, is what the child picks up informally. And that is why Beckett and Hager claim that informal learning is more important than formal learning. Practice-based informal learning is organic and holistic. Simply giving the theory is not good enough. Children and adults, young people today need to know how this is going to be applicable, how they can apply what you're teaching them. Normally, when students ask questions, why am I doing this? Why should I learn this? The answers are, it's in the textbook, it's in the curriculum, it will be on the exam, you need to pass the test, you need to go to the next grade, you will need it 10 years from now. It's difficult for the child to understand why something he needs 10 years from now, he has to study today. So you see, practicality, giving the practical examples of why this is necessary, is absolutely important for students to know. Practice-based informal learning is contextual. How do you learn the computer, how to operate a computer, by reading about it from a textbook? You learn how to operate a computer by operating the computer. Similarly, with technology changing and the phones and smartphones and iPhones and all those developing and changing and new models and brands coming out with way more technology put into it, how are you supposed to learn all that? It's the context. Practice needs to be in context of what you are trying to teach. It cannot be outside. Practice-based informal learning is activity and experience-based. The children must be involved. This is where hands-on learning, engaged learning comes in, where children are made to use the information they have and gain the right experiences. Practice-based informal learning arises in situations where learning is not the main aim. Learning means remembering. Rote learning, memorizing is not the aim. Memorizing how to punch buttons on a keyboard is not going to help anyone punch the right buttons on the keyboard. Actually using the keyboard and punching the right buttons is what's going to help. And so, learning should not be the aim of everything that we do in education. Everything cannot be learned by heart, cannot be learned rote, and cannot be remembered. Practice-based informal workplace learning is activated by individual learners rather than by teachers or trainers. So once you've left and you're in the job market, you're at your job, you know what skills you need to pick up, and you will pick them up on your own, without a teacher, without a trainer, without somebody telling you, don't you know this? This is what you should be doing. You will learn it and do it on your own. Practice-based informal workplace learning is often collaborative and collegial. You work with somebody. In the workplace of the 21st century, colleagues coming together, working together, collegiality is absolutely important. You cannot anymore work in isolated cabins and offices, because that is not the workplace of the 21st century. Collaboration and cooperation is way more important, even in the job market today, than is competition.